you're a do-it-yourself or website builder and you're using WordPress, you may have some questions about the back end. The first time I started using mine, I realized I was confused about the differences in pages and posts. So I wanted to make a quick video to show you the differences. When we're talking about a WordPress website and we talk about the back end of the website, this is what we're talking about. And just to give you an idea, we can go to visit website and it would look like this. This is what you would see as a user, except you can tell that we are able to log into the back end because in WordPress you'll have these black top and bottom or header and footers on it. And so what we would want to do is we want to be at our dashboard. And right now we're talking about the differences in posts and pages. So if we go to the WordPress website and just see what's the difference in a post and a page, they give a pretty good definition. Now, posts are entries listed in reverse chronological order on your site. Think of them as articles or updates that you share to offer new content to your readers. I would say also it's kind of like your Facebook feed or your Instagram feed or something of that nature, where every time you add something new, it goes to the top of your feed. And so when you have older posts, they can disappear down to the bottom. Now, pages are static, so they don't disappear to the bottom. They don't go down as you add pages, and they are not affected by the date. And if you think about them as more permanent fixtures on your site, like your About page, your Contact page, or your home page, these are examples of pages. Now, when we talk about posts, we are talking about blog posts. And so sometimes you'll hear them called posts, sometimes you'll hear them called blog posts. The blog is the collection of all the posts. So let's go over here and look at the website again. When we're looking at the back end, we're going to see posts and pages. And so if we click on post or all posts, it's going to show a list of all the posts that are contained in the blog. And you can see by the date published that it's in reverse chronological order. So if we were to go to the blog page on my site, you would see these items on the blog post page. So let's just do that. We'll go, we right click visit site and open it, and we'll get a new tab. We'll get a new one here. And then we can just click there and go to blog. And this is considered a page, the blog page, and it has the featured image and a little bit about the blog post that is here. So you can see sometimes when you see a blog, it will say something like read more, or it'll have an excerpt like mine does, and there's a link here. And most of the time you can click on the picture or the image to take you to the actual blog post. Now, just to give you an idea, here are these ones that we just saw in the list that were the posts. Okay, so that's how they, that's how they get in to the list. Now, in your website, you can tell it how many you want to feature on your blog, and any other older ones, they would have to click usually another link to go back. That's the disadvantage of putting something in a post, is it can get lost or get older, and so people wouldn't be able to see it if they wanted to just look straight on the page. So the good thing about pages is they are static, which means they don't change. And so this, you can change them, you can edit them, but they don't change just because you post something new to them, like the blog page does. Now, on a static page, you can put a link to any one of the posts that are contained in the blog, like I've done here. You can also add links to other pages, like I've done here. These are sales pages to my courses. And so you can see the courses here in the drop down. You can also see the Excel spreadsheets here, which are these in duplicate. I mean, you can click them here or you can click them up there. And if we scroll down more on the page, the home page, you can see that you can add video, you can add links to PDFs, you can do all sorts of things. On here, I've added a slider. So this is called a slider because you can see the little arrows and it changes. And we'll get into that a little further, but not in this video. And this goes to another website actually that I have that is my shops page. Also, you can add the blog posts, specifically the ones that you want in this section. I've added them based on their category. I get a lot of requests for these stuffed jalapenos, which was a recipe and blog post from a couple of years ago, but because it's so much of a favorite, I like to have it on the home page because otherwise, like I said, the post would get lost in the older entries and someone would have to be searching for it specifically to find it, which they could if they were using the search here and they knew there was something in there to be searched. And then you can also add, say, a video. This is an interview that I did with the news station. You can do an about page. And a lot of times you see the about page on the top, but I have so many things in my top menu that I just decided to put my about page here. And you can have contact, you can put your Facebook pages so you can like them and stuff like that. And then we have a footer down here that has some more pages. Here's the about page in the bottom footer in my website. And terms and conditions, the affiliate disclaimer, these are kind of common that we would have or we'd find in our footers. So I hope that explains the difference between posts and pages. If you are looking at the list, they're going to look pretty much the same. You see this is the pages now, and you can see the about page, the affiliate disclaimer, the affiliate terms and conditions, the blog, and it shows here the post page. So this is, remember, the collection of posts go into the blog page. So there you go.